Good morning, everyone. It is Friday morning. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Let's do a verse of the day. 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 16. But was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass, speaking with man's voice, forbade the madness of the prophet. Donkey. In Old New Testament times, an ass was a donkey. But there was a point in time in Old Testament, and Peter's reminding the reader of it, that a particular prophet named Balaam was called upon by a warlord called Balak. And he called Balaam because Balaam was a soothsayer. Basically, he could see into the future, stuff like that. But he actually served God. He was a prophet, so to speak, a prophet for hire. But he had he ultimately did the will of God, even though he did some for money. He still did the will of God, so to speak. Enough that actually God would actually allow him to prophesy here and there. But we know why that is. Because it all led up to the moment in time where this warlord wanted to destroy Israel, and he wanted this prophet to curse them. So this prophet set out to go curse Israel, the very people chosen by God, whom at this point in time this prophet served with God. So this donkey that this prophet rode on was going along, and all of a sudden this donkey in the middle of the road saw an angel in all its glory. Not an angel that looked like a man, an actual angel. I believe he was holding a big old sword. And the donkey was like, yeah, no. And he turns away, and the prophet Balaam starts beating the donkey. Beating it senseless to turn it back to the road. So he turns it back to the road, and then the angel appears again. So he beats the donkey senseless again. I think this happens 2 or 3 times, and finally God gives the donkey the ability to speak human words. And the donkey, sorry, my helper here made me move the position of my phone. The donkey speaks and says, "Why are you beating me? There is an angel in front of me. Had I walked toward this angel, you would have been struck down. I have always served you. And now you beat me for no reason." And the prophet was actually, wow, sorry about that. Yeah. And so the dumb donkey speaking with a man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. So the prophet was going to curse Israel for all this money that this warlord promised him. Knowing, this is the big thing, knowing that Israel was God's chosen people. Isn't that funny? So God allowed this prophet to prophesy in his name. But then when it came down to being to money or serving God, this prophet chose money. Now, that sounds pretty crazy to me, doesn't it to you? So this mad prophet, crazy prophet, sets out on this path. And the donkey did not want to walk up to that big old angel with that big old sword, because he knew that his owner would be slain. And God gave him the ability to speak, to let him know, to let the owner, this prophet, this crazy guy, know that, hey, you didn't have to beat me. I was trying to save your life. There are many in this world that get ridiculed. There are many that have come and gone that are ridiculed and turned away and spat upon, and that have been basically thrown to the wolves. And all they were trying to do was, through God's love, through His will, lead us in a direction of salvation. I hope everyone has a really wonderful day. God bless you.